Photographers, what do you think this little device is? I'm going to show you how useful this can be to portrait photographers both in the studio and on location. I'll show you that later. In this video, I want to show you my new studio. I also want to show you how I get a variety of images for my clients. I would much rather shoot a big variety of images for my clients when I shoot them in the studio because I tend to sell more that way. The more variety we can do, the more backgrounds, more lighting effects, it makes it more fun for me and it makes it more fun for them. And it's a little bit more of an event for them. They get a little bit more excited about the results that we're getting. So that's what we're going to do today. This is my new studio. I want to showcase it to you today. You might have seen a video a few weeks ago where it was a total disaster. We've been working hard to get it ready. It's not fully ready yet, but I've got it in probably 95% okay to use. So the more variety I can get in my shoots, the more money I tend to make. This video, as I said, is to showcase a new studio, but I didn't just want to make it a boring, this is here and this is there. So we've got Shay along. We're going to be photographing Shay in the studio. Many of you already know Shay. We're going to be showing you the results of the images that we shoot, and we're going to be showing you behind the scenes video of the shots as we do them. It's a bit of a high-paced shoot, this one, because I want to show you as many different effects and backgrounds, lighting as I can, but we'll get on with it. I'm sure you'll get something out of it. Here we go. The way I've set up this studio is so that I can use a range of different lighting options. I can use natural light in a couple of different ways. I can use flash, I can use LED lighting, I can do light painting or light drawing. So I wanted to create a space that allows me to create a lot more styles of images that I haven't done before. Styles of images that are a bit more exciting, and styles of images that are going to interest you as well as my clients. Obviously, the first part of our studio is our white backgrounds. We've got some seamless backgrounds. I've got white, black and grey, which are the best colours to have in your studio because you can change the colour of the background with gels if you need to. So we're just going to do a couple of shots of Shay on this white background, then we're going to change it around and do a few more. Okay, lovely Shay. A little bit further forward for me. Yeah, fantastic. That's it. The light's over here, so a little bit turned that way. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, eyes to me, yeah. Good stuff. Maybe feet apart. No, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm not really in control when you're doing this stuff. That's it. I need to be in control and tell you what to do, but you know better than I do. Okay, that's fine. Maybe just crouch down with your knees over that way. Yeah, I know it's not easy in heels. Yeah, that's it. Good. My light may be a little bit too high for this one, but I think it should be okay. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. That looks great. Okay, just step off and I'll pull my black background down and we'll do a couple in there. Okay, that's cool. We've changed to our black background now. Because it's black and Shay's dressed in dark clothing, I need to separate her from that background a little bit. So I've got a speed light over here. It's zoomed in to 105, so it's going to give me a relatively narrow pool of light on that background, but I need to make sure Shay's a little bit further forward because we don't want that speed light to light Shay's shoulder. So come a little bit further forward for me. Yeah, that's it. Okay, lovely. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, here we go. Yes, that's it. Lovely. One more, yeah. Okay, looks great, Shay. Just going to zoom in, do a few 3/4 shots, yeah? Okay. Yeah, great. Now I could put a blue gel on that flash. We might do it later on some of the other dark backgrounds, but I just want to show you what we can do with these basic backgrounds and lighting. Now we're going to use some natural light. We've got these big roller doors on the front of our studio. I should say shed, but it's nice soft light coming in, 3 meters by 3 meters. We're going to place Shay over against the wall over here and get some nice natural light coming in on her. Okay, Shay, just over here, please. That's it. Now you can lean against that. It's not 100% perfect, but and just move across a little bit. Yeah, I've got to hide that seam in Photoshop. I'm going to Photoshop that seam out later on. Okay, we've got this nice light coming through here. That's lovely. Yep, just turn your face that way. It's great. Yeah, that's nice. Just turn your eyes back to me, please, Shay. Yeah. Lovely. Just moving in a bit closer. Yeah, just tilt your head a little bit to the side. Yeah. Great. Shay's used to turning her head to the side because I tell her to do that all the time. All right, I'm going to do a full length shot of Shay now, and I need to get down low to shoot that. As I've told you previously, we need to shoot from about her waist level so that her proportions look normal. If I shoot from up here, she's going to look short, and Shay doesn't want to look short. Okay, lovely. Just turn your face to that light a little bit, Shay, yeah? That's it. Eyes to me, yeah? Great. The great thing about using this natural light is that it's consistent. We can just move in, zoom out. We don't have to alter our exposure. It looks great. You can obviously see that that background has a split down the middle. I'm just going to Photoshop that out later. Also, we can see through that background. I'm just going to brighten it up later in Photoshop so that it looks like a completely white background. A little bit of extra work, but it saved me money using the panels that I already had. Okay, we're just going to drop this door down. And we're going to bounce a speed light off that grey surface. Simply going to use this speed light, bounced off this grey surface to light Shay, and that's going to give us nice soft light. I've got lots of equipment in here, lots of lighting equipment and things. You don't need to have all this stuff. You can do pretty much everything that we're doing today with a speed light and a couple of grey or white surfaces, reflectors, umbrellas, anything you want. For $100, you can pretty much do everything that I'm doing in here. Wonderful. Yeah, here we go. It's good. Maybe hands behind your bottom. Yep. Terrific. Just turn your face towards the light a little. Yeah. Great. Feet together. Yep. Good. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. That's great. You can see that light looks terrific. It is a little bit warmer than the natural daylight because there's probably a little bit of warmth in the colour of that grey door. I can fix that in post-production, or I can just leave it the way it is. But I wanted you to see the slight difference bouncing off a grey that's not perfectly 18% grey. Underneath my seamless backdrops, I've got a couple of roller blinds. I can just roll these down quite easily. And I've got a great background for 3/4 shots, headshots, anything I need to. I've got a dark one, and I've got a light one. So these were picked up for $20 each at a hardware store. They're on sale. I thought I can use them. One of the issues we had in this shed is because we've got a 10-metre ceiling, we wanted to try and get power coming down from the ceiling, and it wasn't easy. Luckily, my brother-in-law has got a very high stepladder, and he was able to get up onto the ceiling and drop these electrical cables down for me. I don't really want cables on the floor if I can help it, so we've got cables coming down in various parts of the studio that we can use our mains lighting. Most of the stuff I do in the studio is battery lighting, but mains lighting can help. It's very much quicker recycle, and we can get a lot of variety of different flash and strobe options when we're using 240 volts or 110 volts if you live in those backward countries. No, I'll cut that out. We're doing a headshot of Shay here against this background. Very quick background to roll down, roll up and change if we need to. So I want you to turn your shoulders away from the light here. That's it, and turn your face back towards that light. Yeah, lovely. By the way, Shay hates this stool. This is really uncomfortable for her height. She was hoping that it would get lost in the move, but it didn't. So we're going to do this quickly, just so Shay's not too uncomfortable. See, I told you I'd tell them. Okay, lovely. Yeah, eyes to me. Good. Yeah, a little bit further around. Yeah, great. Here we go, Shay. Yep, great. Yeah, a little bit, yeah, good. Lovely. Maybe play with your hair or something with one hand, yeah? That's it, good. You notice Shay used the hand away from the light, which is the best way to do it. She's very experienced, this girl. She knows what she's doing. Okay, lovely, stay there. Just do a wider shot. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to use a chin reflector just to bounce a bit of light back up into Shay's face, which is something we do a lot for beauty shots. I'll have to cut a lot of these noises out, including that blowfly.
It's in that room.
Yeah, it just...
I was going to shut the door.
I was in that room, was it?
Yeah, it's in your room.
And you let it come out. Here we go. Very expensive piece of gear, this one. You can see it's been used for the last 10 years, but it still works. Okay, just turn the face a little. Yeah, focus. Lovely, just a little bit of tilt that way. Yeah, good. Okay, beautiful. You can see there's a little bit more light coming up onto Shay's face. We've effectively increased the size of the light source. So we're going to use another background now. Now this is an innovative piece of photographic equipment here. Not all that expensive, but it works. 2 bits of timber, and we can attach a background to the top of this. We're going to use the natural light coming through the doorway, so we've got an extra background, just with 2 bits of timber. So, I've just got this shower curtain. We can use a range of different background fabrics or various different things on this frame. I'm just going to clip it to the top, and we're going to use the natural light coming in from the rain outside and do some shots of Shay. You're going to be on this side, Shay. So you're going to be standing out here in front a little bit. One thing I didn't plan for when I built this background rack was a rainy day. It's raining outside. I've got to go and stand in the rain so that I can get the right perspective to shoot Shay against this background. But just imagine it's nice and sunny in Australia, okay? Okay, that's good, Shay. Here we go. Yeah, lovely. Yep. Maybe turn to the side a little bit more. Yep, nice to me. Yeah. Good. Okay, you can see that background, even though it's very wrinkly, because of the exposure that I'm doing, I'm blowing out those wrinkles in that background. What I'm going to do now is put a blue gel on the background just with a speed light, just to light that background in a little bit of a blue way to make it look a little bit different. Using natural light on Shay's face, a little bit of speed light on the background. You can see I've intentionally overexposed Shay a little bit just to give us that high key sort of feel with this image. I didn't want those wrinkles to come out in the background. If you've got a wrinkle-free background, then it would be fine. Or if I could stand Shay further forward and knock the background out of focus, it would be fine. But I just did that to give it a high key sort of a feel. Okay, what we might do is get you further out here, please. Keep coming, yep. That's it, okay, lovely. All right, now I'm standing out in the rain, so I hope you guys appreciate the effort that I go to. Lovely. Okay, that's cool. That's all right, I don't mind. It's a cultural thing. Everybody likes to see what bins are used in different countries.
Right, okay, got it. No, it's intentional. That's why I thought I'd just gently mention it.
Go forward a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Okay, just across that way a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Great.
Try and cut them out now.
I'll mention something about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. One more. Yeah. Okay. So you can see the blue on that background from the gelled flash in the background. I'm going to do a different background now, just going to do a solid one, because you can put any sort of fabric on these backgrounds that you need to. Here we go, Shay. Just standing in front of that again, please. Okay, that's great. Got beautiful soft light coming through this door from the outside. Yeah, maybe turn to the side a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Good. Lovely. Bring some hair forward. Yeah, lovely. Good. One more. Yep. Okay, terrific. Turn my camera on. Yeah, lovely, Shay. Just hands behind your back for me here. Good. And that tilt to the side, that head, yeah. Great. Okay, lovely. At the beginning of the video, I asked you if you knew what these little things were. These are really handy for me in the studio because I've got a metallic shed. All of my frame of my shed is steel and the cladding is steel. So I can use these little magnets that are available online quite cheaply to hang backgrounds, both on the frame of the studio, on the roller door of the studio, or on the walls. So these are quite strong magnets. As you can see, if I place it on here, it's very strong. It'll hold about, I think about 70 kilos or so. Sometimes they're very hard to get off. And if you stick two together, you're in real trouble. So what I'm going to do is use a background here. I'm going to attach it to the frame of the studio. It takes about 15 seconds, and I've got a new background to use. Okay, so one magnet up here. Attach that. Another one over there. And there's my background stand. All done. A couple of magnets. I nearly said maggots. A couple of magnets, and I've got a new background up here. Now, a lot of my fabric backgrounds have been packed away because of the move. So I haven't got really great backgrounds to show you today, but still you can see the process and you can see what it's like. In future videos, we're going to be using some of our more interesting fabric backgrounds. I can even put one on the roller door. The roller door is made of metal that has a little bit less steel in it, so it's not quite as grippy, but I can still put this up here, attach the magnet, just to make my background look a little bit more flat and a little bit less wrinkly. What we're going to do here is just shoot Shay in this white dress against this grey background that's been held up there with those magnets. Okay, here we go, yeah. Lovely, yep, just turn that face that way for me, yeah. Great, eyes to me, yeah. Good. Terrific. Yeah, lovely, eyes to me, yep. Good. Once again, yeah. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to do a full length shot of Shay. The background's a little bit messy on the floor, but I don't mind that. It looks real. Here we go, yeah. Great. Yep, maybe turn your back to the light a little bit more. Yep, facing over this way, yeah, that's it. Good, and turn your face right around to that shoulder, yeah. And eyes to me. Yeah, good, yeah. Okay, wonderful. One other thing we can do with this same system is that as long as the magnets aren't attached to the roller door, I can put that door up, which means I can get some natural light coming in onto Shay's hair, and I can still light her from the front with my softbox. Just take that off. Okay, that's the wrong button.
Maybe we should do that without me laughing.
Okay, that's cool. So I want you standing a little bit further forward, about here. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Now, obviously, when we lift that roller door up, we're going to get some light coming through the background. I don't mind that. Depending on your fabric, you'll get more or less light coming through that background. But what I want here is that light coming in above the background onto Shay's hair, just to act as a hair light. A natural hair light, costs nothing. Okay, here we go, Shay. It's focusing. Yeah, that's good. Lovely, yeah. Okay, so it's just a matter of thinking outside the square with a lot of this sort of stuff. These backgrounds don't cost very much. You can create them yourself. It's just a matter of working out how you can use them and get the best benefit out of these backgrounds that you can have. A visit to a hardware store or an op shop or a dollar store can get you some amazing backgrounds and some great lighting, as you've seen from some of our previous videos. So now we're going to be using a timber backdrop. You may have seen this at some of our other studios. I've had 5 or 6 different ones of these over the years. These are just fence palings. If you hear of anybody who's pulling down their fence, you can just grab the old fence palings, nail them up to a wall, and you've got a nice rustic background. We've got a couple of extra enhancements in there just to make it look a little bit more special. And shades there as well. You'll notice I've changed the light source here. I've got a smaller softbox, but that should still give us some lovely soft light. I want to use the smaller softbox just to create a little bit more texture on that timber background. Maybe to stand with your back to the timber, please, Shay. Yeah, that's it. Great. Turn it face this way again here, and pull some hair over that shoulder. Yeah, lovely. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Just look up at the light like you just did. Yeah, that's it. Good. I've got to be careful about saying look up at the light because we've got about 15 different lights in the studio. I don't want to confuse Shay too much. All right, can you get into that corner next to the rope, please? Yeah, just leaning on the background. Yeah, that's it. Great. So by asking Shay to change position, I've changed how that light falls on her. This light's a little bit more frontal onto her face, so it's a little bit more of a beauty light rather than a side lighting that we had over against the other wall. Okay, here we go, yeah. Lovely, yeah. Terrific. All right, wonderful. I only need 2 shots to get the perfect one. We'll move on to something else now. What we're going to do is we're going to do some light painting. Right, because we're trying to squeeze in as much as we can in this video, we're going to change this lighting situation now. We're going to do some light painting here in the studio. So we're going to turn all the lights out. We're going to light Shay with a torch. So this technique that you're about to see, I'm just going to use a torch. You've seen other videos that we've done this against this big dark background. The advantage of this space was that we had this huge dark background already installed when we moved in. So I can use that for light painting or a number of different things. I'm going to use my torch, just my little $20 torch, and I'm going to use a 15-second exposure to paint the light on Shay. Yes, leaning against the wall. That will help you stay still. Here we go, Shay, nice and still, looking at the camera. Okay, that's good. All right, this time I'm going to just light the background as well as you. So do the same thing. Here we go. A little bit on the background to give it a bit of interest. Yeah, that's great. This time I want you looking down that way, please, Shay. Yep, because I'm going to be down there. Here we go. Good. Yeah, lovely. So we're going to shoot Shay against this big dark background now. It's terrific because it's about 7 or 8 metres wide. So we can fit a big family group in front of it if I need to, or a big sporting group. What I can also do is attach a large cloth background to it, as you'll see me do. And I can drop that down and have a large cloth background, 6 metre background against that wall. So it's a big advantage to be able to shoot with that large background. I'm just going to use a speed light for this image. I want to get this light raking along the wall, lighting Shay. I've got it set to, my zoom is 105 mils, which is as tight as this flash can zoom to. And my power is about half power. So I can either turn my flash up or down to get my exposure correct, change my aperture or my ISO on my camera, or move Shay closer or further away to get the correct exposure on her. So we've got Shay in position here. I'm just going to use that raking light across that background to light Shay. I need to make sure that her face is turned towards that light because otherwise her face is going to be dark. Okay, lovely. Just leaning back against the wall for me here. Yeah, that's it. That's great. Just stay like that and then we'll get you looking at me. Here we go. Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, now just keep that face turned but eyes to me. Yep, as comfortable as you can be. Don't turn too far. Yeah, that's it. Good. Lovely. Maybe hands on the front of your thighs. Yeah, that's it. Good. See me standing, standing like this, trying to imagine the pose that you're going to be in. Yeah. This is quite embarrassing, but I often find myself when I'm photographing someone standing in the pose that I want them to be in, just sort of urging them into that pose as if my pose is going to make a difference to them. It feels really stupid, but that's what I do. Not on purpose. Okay, I like those hands up beside your face there, yeah, that's it. But we've got that light coming across, so maybe just one hand up. Yeah, that's it, good. Yeah, lovely. Okay, can you turn around away from me? Is it okay to shoot the back? Hands on the wall or something? Yeah, that's it, that's good, just like that. That's great. Yeah, good. Can you turn to look at me now? Yep. Great, turn your shoulders a bit more. Yeah, good. Okay. Wonderful. I love that. That looks really good. Again, we could put a coloured gel on that light if we wanted to, but there's a multitude of different creative things we can do with any of these light sources. What I'm going to do now is to use that big fabric background on here. I've got it set up on pulleys and I've got a bit of a gantry set up at the top. You'll just see me do it. It takes a little while, but it allows me to put different backgrounds up on this large wall. All I do is unhook that rope. Sorry, Rob. Unhook this one. Take my background and clip it on to this bit of timber. Here we go. Then we just pull this back up, hook it over our little wall hook. Same on the other end. There we go, and we've got our big background in place. So because I've got a fair bit of space in this studio, I can move Shay forward of these backgrounds to make them look a little bit more out of focus if I want to. I'm not a big fan of throwing backgrounds out of focus, particularly in the studio. But because I've got these big roller doors as well, I can stand halfway down the driveway and shoot with the 200mm lens to get Shay very isolated against that background if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that here. We're just going to demonstrate what we can do with these backgrounds. Right, here we go, Shay. Yeah, just turn that face towards that light a little bit for me. Yep. Great, yeah. Now I can zoom in and get a waist-up shot of Shay. Here we go. If I had a longer lens, I could get in closer still. But that background looks good, even though it's not out of focus. Lovely. Okay. I've still got that speed light firing over on that right-hand side. I was going to turn it off, but I thought, no, I'll leave it on because that's going to give a bit of highlight across that background and show a bit of texture in it. So it works pretty well. Okay, so can we do a full skirt? Can we do a little bit of swishing? Okay, so we're going to swish that skirt around a little bit, Shay. Yeah, that's it. That face a little bit that way. Yeah, that's it. Eyes to me. Yeah, good. Yep. A bit more swishy. Yeah, that's it. Good. Yeah. Okay, lovely. All right, that's cool. We'll do one more looking back over that way because I think that will look good. Do the swishy thing. No, just hold it out. Yeah, that's it. Good. Eyes back to me. Yeah, great. Okay. Yes, lovely. You'll notice we've got this big long curtain along this side of the studio. It's not there for aesthetics or anything in particular. It's just there to hide all my rubbish. We've got cupboards in behind here. This is where a lot of my storage of my photographic gear is. So in behind these curtains, I've got some blinds that we can roll down and just shoot headshots in front of these blinds. Because I'm doing a headshot of Shay, I can do it from standing. I don't need to get down low. I want to try and fill the frame with her from the waist up, but I don't want to get too close. If I'm trying to do a real close-up of her and I'm within a metre of her, I'm going to distort her face a little bit. So I stay back probably 2 metres. I very rarely get any closer than 2 metres to my model. Plus, Shay will freak out if I get too close to her. Okay, lovely. There's your light, yep. Just going to frame up here. Okay, yeah, eyes to me. Lovely. Check that. Yeah, look at that light, that's beautiful. Okay, the background helps too. Oh, and of course, Shay.
I was going to say, what about me?
All right, that's nice. Maybe hair down on both sides, please. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, just looking at the bottom of the light here for me. Yep. When you're directing your model's eyes or your client's eyes, give them something exact to look at. Don't say look up, because if I say look up, Shay, look up for me. Yeah, she's going to have that white under her eyes, not particularly attractive. So I would give her something exactly to look at. Now when you pulled your hair down, you just pulled your hands down as you did it. Can you do that again? And I'll just shoot you as you do. Keep that face to the side a little bit. Okay, eyes to me. Yeah, keep doing it. Yep. Yeah, lovely. One more, yeah. Okay. Nice. We got one more background to show you, and that'll be it. Okay, Shay, we're over against the roller door. I'm going to shoot our last shot of Shay against this roller door, the inside of the roller door. It's quite a grey colour, so it's a little bit uninteresting. So I'm going to put a blue gel on my speed light, zoom it in to give me that bit of a cone of light, and I'm going to light that roller door with it. Because of the texture of the folds in the roller door, it's going to look interesting. I'm going to bring Shay a little bit further forward so that the light on her is not going to interrupt the light that I'm throwing on that background. So can you come all the way forward here, please, Shay? I'm going to put this up here. This has turned into a lighting lesson rather than a studio tour. If I light Shay with the large softbox in the position that it's in now, it's going to throw a reasonable amount of light onto that background, which I don't want. I'll do a shot to show you. Okay, Shay. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that light on the background is not really obvious. I want a bit more shadow in there to emphasise the highlights of the blue. So I'm going to feather my light. Feathering my light means that I'm going to turn it away from the background, aim it in front of Shay so that a lot of that light doesn't get onto the background. I'm going to do it a second way too. I just keep thinking new things to do, but I'm going to do it a second way after this. But I'll move this softbox across this way so that Shay's still being lit by that softbox. It's not as soft as it would be normally, which is the whole subject of another video, but you'll see the difference that this makes. Okay, here we go, yeah. Just tilt that head a little, yeah, that's it, lovely. So you can see now that that light from the softbox isn't hitting the background as much, so it's a bit darker and the blue shows up a little bit more. The second way I could do it is to use a grid. I could use a grid on a softbox to minimise the spread of it so that it doesn't get on the background. I'm going to do that now. This is the light I'm using this time. It is a smaller softbox, but it's got a grid on it, so it's going to be a little bit more confined onto Shay. A little bit. Turn that face a little bit more. Yep, just look at the bottom of that light. That'll be great. Yeah. Terrific. Eyes to me. Yeah, good. Lovely. Yeah, love that. Whoops, one more. Okay. Have a look at that. just the inside of a roller door.
Just gonna tweak.
There you go, just the inside of a roller door and a blue gel on a speed light. Okay, so I could go on like this all day, but I won't. We've got lots of different other options in the studio. You'll be able to see more in future videos. So thanks for watching. Thanks to Shay. Thanks to Robbie. Thanks to my wife for cooking me breakfast. I'll see you next time.